This is Jenny from Clyde Public Library, and I'm a little late getting this done, but this is a hero's journey craft. And today we're going to make a sword. And we're using very simple materials, but I do have them available starting today. This is June 10th, but you won't get to see this probably until June 11th or 12th. The materials will be available here at Clyde Public Library, and we're open, so you can come and see us. If you're not comfortable coming into the library, you can call us, and we'll put these items out in the foyer for you to pick up. You need to be a registered participant in the summer reading program to have these materials. Today we're going to make a sword. These will be fun to play with. All you need is 2 pages of double-sided newspaper and something to make your krill. The krill is the part of the sword that protects the participants' hands from the jousting. And we're going to make ours out of the center of a paper plate. So, easy. You just need 2 double-folded parts of a newspaper, tape, and something to make your krill. So let's get started. Alright, so I have my 2 double section pieces of newspaper. This is the Clyde Journal, but any newspaper will work. And I'm going to start from one corner. So I've got my 2 sections of newspaper together, and I'm going to simply start with a little bitty fold so that I can start my rolling. And I'm going to start rolling towards the other corner. And children, if you need an adult's help, I would ask, because you want to keep this going pretty tightly rolled. Because if you don't keep it tight, you're not going to have a good sword. And you want to have a good sword so you can have a good jousting match. So you just continue rolling and rolling and rolling. You could sing a song while you're doing this. I can't think of a rolling song. I can think of a rowing song, like row, row, row your boat. But I couldn't think of a rolling song. Maybe you can. You just keep rolling and rolling to this other point. And roll it as tight as you can. And I can already tell I didn't roll it as tight as this one the first one that I made. But I know you can do it. Roll, roll, keep rolling. And when you get it all done, you're going to need some tape, just everyday tape. And you might already want to have some of this tape pulled off and stuck to your table. Because you don't just want to tape this end, you're going to want to tape it at several places here. Because when you start jousting, you want your sword to stay together. And parents and grandparents, this is a very safe sword for the kids to use because it's simply rolled up newspaper. And parents and grandparents or caregivers of these lovely children, you're going to want to make one for yourself because you're going to want to play along as well. So tape it in several places and then decide which end you're going to flatten out for the handle of your sword. And keep in mind the size of the hand that the person that's going to be jousting. And flatten that out. See what I'm doing here? Just flatten it out. roll it over. And then get a good amount, fold it over to put the person's hand in it. There you go. And put plenty of tape to hold it together because it would not be good to lose the grip on your sword while you're jousting. I think that might cause you to lose the match. So put several pieces of tape to hold your handle nice and firm. That should hold it. Test it out. And now we want to make our krill. As I said, every part of the sword, when I looked up the word krill, is everything on the sword that is not the sword, the instrument of, I'm not going to say the word death, but the instrument of making the jousting movements is called the krill. So it's this part, including the handle, is called the krill. K-R-I-L-L, krill. So you're going to take a paper plate, and these inexpensive ones I think would be the best. And because they have a nice crease here that gives you the nice pattern for a circle, and simply cut that out. Because you can follow that indentation very carefully and easily. And you younger kids can have your caretaker, your parent, your grandparents help you cut this. But it's a good, easy practice for you to use your scissors because you can see that line very carefully. And cut that circle out. And I would suggest doing your decorating of your krill before you cut your center circle out. Then your pattern is nicely placed on there. Get yourself some markers or crayons and start making your design. If you can look at mine, I'll take it off of here. I simply started making the number 6 all the way around in a pattern. And then I made some triangle marks, or even you could call them letter A's going around. And then I made a bunch of zeros. And then I just left a spot for my hole for my sword to go into. And that's how I finished my krill. Super easy, super fun. And if I'm making these, you know what? I think I would make 2 or 3. Because once you start having those jousting bouts, you're going to want a spare sword to pick up in case something happens and your opponent knocks yours out of your hand and it gets a little bit torn up in the joust. Have fun, you mighty knights, when you're battling your dragons or your opponent. These are a lot of fun and they're inexpensive. So you can come by the Clyde Library, pick up some newspaper sets if you don't have them. 2 pages are folded in each set. I'm going to ask that you just pick one up. And if you need another one, you can come back, call, I can fold some more. And a paper plate for your krill. This is Miss Jenny saying goodbye. Stay tuned next week. We're going to have a super duper craft for you that will cover weeks 3, 4, and 5. It's going to keep you really busy and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then you're going to have an opportunity for it to be shown on Facebook and YouTube. And it's going to be your opportunity for you to imagine your story for this year's summer reading program. Bye and have fun.